Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another World of Warships Legends video. And today we're once again covering the Yamato event that's going on for the month of January 2020. And in the previous video covering the Yamato, I went through some of the overview of the event and my thoughts on it, and I had a video from my first game playing in the background. And the response to that video has been mixed. For me, the Yamato event was a great thing. It really sparked my interest in the game. I hadn't played it in a couple of months, and this brought me back, got me interested in the game again, and certainly got me back into it and playing. And a lot of other people seem to really hate it. I guess the people who like the daily grind, who are in the routine of playing every day, didn't like how the entry of the Yamato shuffled things up at the top end of the game. How the ship gets introduced is it can either be in a tier 7 battle where it takes the place of 3 ships on one team, on the team that it's on, or they can be in an all Yamato battle where it's 4 versus 4 Yamatos on each team. And I think for the people who liked playing, standard game at tier 7, having the Yamato, which was fairly easy to get, another positive from my point of view, but you made that ship easy to get, so you had people maybe with a little bit less familiarity, a little bit less skill in the game, suddenly at the command of a ship that takes the place of 3 other ships on your team at the top tier of the game, where ships are just deadly. If you are not familiar with a tier 7 battleship and there's destroyers in play, they're just going to feast on you. And so having the Yamato on your team that's not very good can really put you at a handicap. So I get that. For the people who were playing the Yamato, getting stuck in these 4 versus 4 games was probably seen as a big negative. People seem to hate the 4v4 iteration of the game, and I can totally agree with that. If I had to choose to play a standard match where I'm in with other tier 7s, or in the 4v4 all Yamato match, I will choose the standard tier 7 match every single time. It's way more fun and more dynamic. Having 8 ships that are all the same, you can't really customize a Yamato. I mean, very, very slightly. Commander skills and, maybe there's a loadout choice, but you're talking super fine-tuned here. Basically, it's 8 carbon copies of the same ship. Big guns that can punch through. They've got a huge citadel. If they're flat on, you're going to get citadel very quickly and get destroyed very quickly. And if there's 4 ships, they're going to be spread out. You're going to be broadside on to somebody, and you're going to get deleted. So I get it. A lot of things to not like about the event. The reasons that I do like it are covered in that previous event. What I want to do here is focus on this 4v4 iteration, because the way that it was implemented, this whole Yamato event in all of its forms is a test. It's a test for the ship. It's a test for a new kind of gameplay. And they were honest about that at the beginning. They said that's what this was. They're going to take the Yamato away at the beginning of February. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with experimenting and trying things and having positives and negatives. And so the 4v4 Yamato matches, how they started, I think the first week or 2 of the Yamato event, all you had, if you got into a 4v4 match, was an open, I think it's called the ocean map. It's just flat ocean. No features, no land, no islands, nothing to hide behind. It's just 4 big ships on each team out in the middle of the water. And if you get spotted first, you're in trouble, because the 4 ships on the enemy team are all going to start firing on you very quickly. So it devolves into this, well, no, I don't want to go first, you go first. No, I don't want to go first, you go first. And then whoever goes first just gets absolutely lit up. And there's a capture point in the middle. And I played, I think, 2 or 3 of them, and you'll see one of those in the background. And I did fairly well, but they weren't a lot of fun. So the fun factor is certainly a negative there, and I get that. One of the positives about these 4v4 Yamato missions is they made the missions really easy to complete. There's weekly missions in the Yamato. You have to reach certain damage totals, and if you do, you earn the Sakura coin currency for the current Battle Pass event that's going on at the time. And so having 400,000 hit points worth of hit point out there, of battleship out there, all those 4 Yamatos, in open ocean, I mean, you're going to rack up some damage if you're at least competent with the guns and paying attention to what you're doing. So yeah, fun factor, not as much. Interesting factor, not as much with all the same ships. Not as much strategy because it's just open ocean and slinging shells, but made it easy to complete the mission, so that was a positive. The other thing was it was the only way to play in a division. So if you platoon up or team up with your friends and you wanted to play, and you all wanted to play in your Yamatos together, you could do that. You'd be put into a division, and you would automatically get put into the 4v4 format. So now you can't do that. Wargaming actually listened to player feedback, saw the negative reaction that people had to the 4v4 Yamato, and as of today, I believe, introduced a patch to remove 4v4 Yamato matchmaking from the game. I'm going to play here after I'm done recording this video and confirm that that's true. But that is my understanding. It is no longer in the game. They've taken it out. So they listened to the feedback. So that's pretty cool. The downside is if you're playing in a division, you cannot now play in the Yamato. If you division up 2 Yamatos, 3 Yamatos, and you go into the matchmaker, you're going to sit and you won't get matched with anybody. So ups and downs on both sides. I see it. It's a limited event. So if you don't like it, you can easily avoid it. Don't play tier 7, you won't see a Yamato. If you want to play a Yamato, you're going to have to go without divisioning up with your friends. The other thing that they did during this event was, I believe they added in a second map. I don't know if this second map was there from the start or if it came in. I never saw it. I played, I don't know, 7, 8 matches in the Yamato the first week or two, only saw the ocean map, and then after that second week, started seeing a new map where it was island features. It was like a normal map from the game. There was 2 capture points, A and B, and you had cover. So that was an improvement. I thought that was, again, taking for granted that I just didn't never see that map in my first games and it was there all the time. I believe they just had the ocean map, saw that people weren't really thrilled with it, made a change, put in a new map, had some features, had a little more tactics, had a little more strategy. People still weren't thrilled with it, and they pulled it out from the game. So, again, I'm loving how this event is being handled. Even if it's not, even the specifics of the event aren't your cup of tea. You don't like the Yamato. You don't like that it takes up 3 ships on the enemy team. You don't like that it's easy to get for new players and they're getting deleted and it's imbalancing your matchups. Fine with all that. But I really think the mechanics behind what they're doing are a positive sign for the game. They are trying out new things, mixing up the formula, listening to feedback, making tweaks throughout the event. All of that is great. So, yeah, maybe this is how they implement carriers, right? As a special limited event, you get 1 on each team so that it's a max. Maybe there'll be some kind of special anti-air ship put into the game that can match up against the carriers, right? Doing these little tweaks is what keeps the game fresh. For me, just constantly grinding the same ships, especially when you get to tier 5 and 6, and you're just pounding your head into a wall, and you have to do, I don't know, 100 or so battles to get the next upgrade, and then you've got to grind however many battles to get the 18 million credits. Mixing it up is what keeps the game fresh and what keeps it interesting. So I'm all for it. I'm loving. I like the Yamato. I think it's a cool event, and I'm not even a battleship player. I kind of avoid battleships, but I think this is great. I love being the powerful ship on the team. I love the tactics around it. I love the extra intensity, the extra adrenaline when you're that ship and you are supposed to carry your team. All that is great. So I love the specifics, but I also love the spirit behind the event. And I hope you guys can see that too. Even if you don't like the Yamato, at least consider what's going on behind the scenes and maybe show your support for that and ask for it to be implemented in some other format rather than this big overpowered battleship. Give us something else. Give us NPC missions, PvE content, whatever it is. There's a lot of potential for this game, and I want to see it continue to progress along these lines and not stagnate with, you know, every month you try to pursue a ship, but you've got to pay for an admiralty backing to even qualify for it, right? That, to me, the game is dead. This direction, changing things up, keeping it fresh, the game is very much alive. So, those are my thoughts. Feel free to leave yours in the comment below, whether they're good or bad. I know the instant that you're going to see 4v4 Yamato in the title, the instinct is going to be to push that downvote button. And hey, if that makes you feel better, go for it. But I'd really love to hear substantive thoughts and comments on what you think about the event and the general direction that World of Warships Legends is going in. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.